And we are live. Good evening, Storm. Actually, good afternoon, Stormy Bear, for you.
Thank you very much. You should be in bed, young man.
I know, I should. The wife's gone, but I've stayed up to talk to all you lovely people. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, mostly you, Stormy. So good evening. Happy New Year, sir. This is the first time we have spoken since 2022 began.
It is.
Bye-bye 2021, you absolute arsehole of a year.
Don't jinx it. Whatever you do.
So like the 20s, like the swinging 20s, back in the day, you know, when everything was awesome. And the 20s, 2020s has been shocking. It's not been the same.
No.
But oh well.
It's not.
So just thought I would get us together and have a little bit of a chin wag. And first of all, I've got to talk about this most recent of my cock-ups on my sidetrack channel. That I did a little video that actually had a really interesting story in it, because you know, say I love Stargate. It's my favorite sci-fi show ever. I think it's the best TV show, and hopefully it's coming back. And Amazon are buying MGM, and Amazon have actually got stuck in the regulators. The regulators have decided that they don't really want Amazon to buy MGM. Amazon is bad. Amazon doesn't pay taxes, so they're bunged up the process, right? So Amazon have agreed that they will actually base all of their productions in future in the United States of America, and that way they pay taxes and they get jobs. And this is a bit of a backroom deal sort of thing, but it'll allow them maybe to move on with the sale and maybe get MGM sale done a bit sooner. Unfortunately, that's quite an important story, I thought. You know, it's like actually quite a big deal for Stargate. We might get Stargate a bit sooner thing. But I stupidly put a picture of Amanda Tapping wrapped in an American flag on the thumbnail. Now, I remember that coming out and people getting quite angry about it because she's not American, she's Canadian. She's actually British-Canadian. He's got a British dad and Canadian mom, I think, or the other way around. So she actually ended up apologizing for it. I never really thought that was still a problem, but some people got upset. And then a couple of people said I was sexist and derogatory to women, but I didn't think so. I thought it was okay. I just thought it was a cheeky joke. But a couple of people got quite annoyed. I just wondered, did you see the thing? Did you think I was a silly Billy? Or
no, it was, you know, I'm trying to remember where the photo originally came from. It was is from a promotional piece, I thought, in like People magazine or something.
I thought it was from like one of those blokes magazines that appeared. I think that's where we saw it in the UK. Was in like they had silly names like Nuts magazines and things like that we saw it over here, but it might not be the same over there. It's the same.
FHM or something.
Yeah. We had FHM, yeah, exactly, yeah. Don't exist anymore. I wonder why.
Tumblr.
but I didn't think it was necessarily.
I didn't think it was well done. You know, it was. I'm just one. I mean, you know, was it the fact that it was titillating? Everyone was upset, or is the American flag, or she was Canadian, or it's just, you know, item 4,218 of things Americans need to be upset about. I don't know.
I think it's possibly that last thing. But I've generally lost subscribers over, and I do seem to have upset a few people. So I've actually took the video down. But also, more importantly, I thought actually I was trying to say something that was quite important. I thought about, you know, my favorite TV show maybe coming back, and it was getting drowned out by people yelling about Amanda Tapping's boobs. So I thought I better take it down. So anyway, I've took the video down and I've done it again. So I'll just put it back up. So without the thumbnail.
You just you know, put the same thumbnail and you know, with that, and just title it Amanda Tapping's boobs. And then just have, I don't know, just live stream video of prairie dogs or something. Yeah. Just nothing related to, you know, or
in the video, I actually made a joke out of it.
Yeah.
I made a joke out of it going, how many people really clicked just because of the thumbnail? So I thought it was okay. I thought it was just cheeky. But anyway, I just wondered what your opinion was, because
I'm not astonished by anything stupid anymore. I just can't.
Yeah. Your volume isn't amazing, by the way, mate. But never mind. Yeah. I've got aliens in space saying, "Listen, we know we're not a weirdo." Actually, you don't know me that well. I'm like 30% weirdo, but I think it's like, yeah, maybe somewhere in that area. But I think it's like it's an okay weirdo. It's okay that I'm a little bit nuts, but it's a healthy nuts, I think. Anyway, mate, as we're in the new year, I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat. And by the way, if anybody's watching wants to join our conversation, you can come in and have your own little window, and you can discuss it. Like I say, there's a link in the description. We would love to meet a few of you people. So if you want to come and say hello, you're more than welcome. Just try and have something to talk about when you come on, if you'd like. If nobody joins because you're scared, that's fine as well. Okay. So 2021. All right, let's restart that. What have you enjoyed of 2021, or what did you absolutely hate of 2021? Just throw Star Trek Discovery straight out.
Well, let me start with the things I enjoyed. Foundation on Apple Plus.
Yeah.
That was very well done, I thought. I was curious how they were going to adapt the books to television. They did a very good job.
It was beautifully made. It was absolutely beautifully made.
Yeah.
I tell you what, mate, we actually have a chap wanting to join us. So why don't we just say hello?
Hey, my friends, how are you?
Hello
how are
there.
You? Tell us your name, Aliens in Space, and where you're from.
Me, I'm from Florida over here, and well, for now you can. I'll tell you guys in private, but I'll keep it to Aliens in Space.
Is fine with us, buddy. There's no bother at all.
But you guys want to see something cool? You guys want to see something cool?
Dude, you have an amazing collection. That is awesome.
Oh, you suck. That's awesome.
That is actually genuine. What else you got there, man? You got a few things.
Yeah, that's the Lost in Space robot from the '99 movie back there. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, the Matt LeBlanc movie. That was amazing.
But they made a Stargate toy line, Diamond Select, back in the day, that they only sold through the magazine previews. And if you look on eBay, those figures are going for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I saw an original O'Neill go for like 400 quid over here.
Wow. But look, wait. We're
all leaning forward trying to see. Dude, you kept them in the box as well. So we got a glider. Those are amazing. I can't quite see what that is. Are those from the movie? No way, dude. You got a collection there. Is this your retirement fund?
No, but if you guys are into Stargate, they got good prices on the Kenner figures. So I got the whole Kenner collection for $130.
That is very cool. I've seen a lot of the new Starship models have come out recently, and they look pretty wicked. There's the X302 and everything models that are pretty stunning. I like the ships and things. I'm a bit of a Trekkie as well. I love Stargate, love Star Trek. I love the ships. I just think they're amazing.
Eagle moths. Those are what they're called.
Very good. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. You are a proper connoisseur, sir, and that is a hell of a collection.
That is a hell of a collection.
I'm married. I'm not allowed that.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. So, so you're a big Stargate fan then. So, what do you think about the possibility of Stargate coming back? Do you think it's a possibility, or?
I am so excited because rewatching Stargate, it's weird because a lot of normal people that aren't into Marvel or aren't into video games, but they're into Stargate, because it was on TV, they were able to catch it. It's so surprising to me that Stargate isn't selling more merchandise, it just boggles to me. And so you had mentioned in one of your videos that was one of the most profitable franchises that MGM had.
Second most profitable franchise that they own. Yeah. It's only after Bond. James Bond is the only thing that's made him more money.
You know, I'm excited.
They're second to James Bond.
Yeah,
second to James Bond.
The original Stargate movie is the 10th highest grossing MGM film of all time. And that's just the movie, never mind the series.
Whoa. The movie
it is a gold mine for them, and you know, it's like let's not pay any attention to it. You know, I don't understand their business their business philosophy of keeping it down. I mean, I would have had that. I mean, I get that they had the streaming service, the quasi streaming, where you could just, you know, watch, you know, Stargate stuff, but they really missed an opportunity. I mean, they missed out on what, lifetime billions in revenue. Don't even get me started.
Well, say Amazon keep. Like I say, I've been talking to somebody, a couple of people who work for MGM, and a guy that works close to MGM, and apparently Amazon, they keep calling it like the sleeping giant of sci-fi, and that's how they keep describing it. And that's apparently one of the things when the Amazon deal started. One of the things they kept talking about apparently was Stargate. That the MGM realized that they were interested in Stargate really early on, and it makes sense to me because, I mean, other than after Star Trek, Star Wars, I would say it's one of the biggest franchises out there, the most popular.
Yeah.
You look at Facebook groups and things like that, people actually talking about this stuff. It's Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, Firefly are the things people seem to talk about the most. Amazon ain't stupid. They look at that. They realize what people are talking about, and that's what they're interested in. So, yeah, Amazon aren't stupid. This is coming back. It's just a matter of when and how badly they fuck it up. Oh, sorry. I actually told people, if you do come on, don't swear. So.
You know, I was gonna say one of the things that they cannot top the pilot to SG-1. I think I was commenting on one of your videos because it was like a story out of Heavy Metal magazine. I don't know if you guys ever read the comic of Heavy Metal magazine.
Not over here in the UK, I'm afraid. No, we didn't have that.
Oh, you know, it's a UK. It's a UK magazine.
Oh, I missed that. No, I didn't see that.
And Mobius had. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm thinking of 2000 AD. But this SG-1 was like Heavy Metal because over here in the States there was a sci-fi comic magazine called Heavy Metal, and it had a lot of like beautiful women and like the Conan, you know, the old Conans, and that's what it reminded me of. The scientist and the pilot, the wife, remember? Because it was on Showtime, so they had shown nudity. But the other seasons had gone to Sci-Fi, so it wasn't. They couldn't get as adults, but you could see the range that they were going for in that original pilot. You know.
Yeah, I was talking about this in another video. I was saying about how the feel of the first double episode was really, the style was very similar to the movie in loads of ways. I mean, the starting sequence was the same and things like, and that was something Brad Wright apparently hated. They didn't want to use the opening sequence, but they didn't have any money. You know, they had the cross-eyed mummy. The sarcophagus was cross-eyed at the start.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, if you actually watch the original start again, the esophagus, the eyes are too close together, so it looks like they're crossed. It's really, once you notice it, it's all you can see. But yeah, Brad Wright apparently hated that. He didn't want it at all. But they didn't have any money. So, but there was very much a feeling they wanted to like bridge between the two. But apparently, Richard Dean Anderson had actually contractually had how he wanted his character to be. He wanted to be a bit wisecracking, and he wanted to be O'Neill that we know and love. But they said, well, that's not what O'Neill's like in the film. So we got to sort of like ease that in a little bit, and that's why you see in the first series he doesn't crack a lot of jokes, and he's not like the O'Neill we love. But by the end of the first series, he is. It's because they steadied it out, so they wanted to bridge between the two, sort of thing.
The way they did it, I guess, in the writing that I really did appreciate concerning that topic, is that over the first season, they played up to him healing from the loss of his son.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that? I mean, you know, from at least they gave it some service in the very first, you know, bit of that season, and then you see him just kind of coming to grips with that issue, and I guess allowed himself to mourn as he saw there was something more important that he could be doing now for the memory of his son.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't really.
They touched on it again, didn't they? A couple of times. They touched on it again a couple of times through the series.
A couple of times, and then it was like because maybe, and then it kind of gives you the idea that in the movie, this was the PTSD version of O'Neill that we saw in the movie, and then we see him heal over time. At least that's the way I saw it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, he was suicidal at the start of the movie, wasn't he?
Too, yeah. I mean,
that's why he was picked, wasn't it? Because he was willing to blow himself up.
Yeah,
so
willing to nuke himself.
Most definitely. But what do you think about I mean, because obviously there's a big story that Brad Wright's version that he wants to bring back is going to be something like a Stargate Academy, basically. So it'll be a new SG team just coming out of the academy. Do you remember the Threshold episode?
Oh,
when we saw some young SG trainees sort of thing. I'd be interested to see if one of those might come back, maybe. But what do you guys think? Do you think that would be something you'd want to watch?
Dude, anything with Gate, I mean, I would be interested in watching. So I really do love the. I mean, it's like, Stargate Vacations. I would just dig that. I mean, there's so many things they could do with that idea. I mean, it's just give me just tourist commercials of Stargate locations, and I'd just watch that.
You've only got to go about 1,000 miles north, and you go see them.
Right.
What happened?
I was saying, because obviously he lives in California, he could just go north and go to British Columbia, and he could wander around all the
That's
locations.
Right. Yeah.
Very easily.
Oh yeah.
What do you think though about aliens? What do you think? Do you want to see a Stargate Academy, or would you rather see something a bit more sort of established?
If there's anybody who should continue the Stargate thing, it should be Brad Wright. Because the way they ended Universe, and there's a whole mythology there that he had set up for years, and there's such a huge audience, still of all ages for it. And I thought Amazon was all about cutting costs, and making money and stuff. So if they bring him back and they have a Stargate Academy, they have their diverse cast, in the academy, because you have all these different students from all these different backgrounds. And then you have the Stargate mythology, and people are going to want to buy merchandise because, if you have a franchise, you want to sell things for it.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they're not jumping on that, because they tried Catherine, and Catherine didn't last 7 seasons or 10
the
seasons.
Origins wasn't great, was it? Really?
So
it again, I think it was very low budget and a bit of an attempt of MGM to almost do like an online show, wasn't it? It didn't work.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the rumors then that maybe Amazon might move away from Brad Wright? They might try to bring in somebody new and some new ideas.
That's okay too. I'm open to that.
It's I mean, I think that'd be fine. It's just you always have that fear of the new guy coming in and not really understanding. I mean, it's the same kind of fear we had with the reboot of Battlestar Galactica with Ronald Moore. Ronald Moore, very, very capable writer and showrunner. Well, here's this thing that everyone's loved since the 70s. Well, maybe most people's loved since the 70s, and he took control over it. Then we saw his product, and oh my God, it was 20 times. It was amazing, and probably still some of the best sci-fi's ever produced for television is Ronald Moore's Battlestar Galactica. So you always have
to be a bit different, though, isn't it? Do you think? Because there was like 20 years between the two. They was very dated, and obviously he was allowed to basically take the original idea and go his own way with it slightly.
Yeah.
So he kept enough. Sorry, that's just set Siri off. He was allowed to sort of keep chunks of the original to keep the original fans happy, but then he was allowed to change stuff. I think if a new guy comes in with Stargate with that similar freedom, Stargate fans might lynch him or her. So I think that's my problem. Is on one hand, I can completely see how like a hard reboot or a semi-hard reboot would work and be good for writers, because it allows them to be more creative because they haven't got a load of canon they've got to worry about.
That's true.
But I think I would personally lose my crap if they did a hard reboot. I don't see the point in doing it, really. Just throw all SG-1 out the window. No, can't do it.
And even in international countries like South America and Asia, they played Stargate reruns. So you have like a lot of people from, different monetary, poor people, rich people, all types of people watch those old Stargates, So with like Spider-Man bringing all the past movies, all these franchises, they're bringing all the past people. I would have thought, oh man, why wouldn't they do that, right? With the multiverse and going through wormholes, why not do that with the Stargate stuff?
We've got that option,
but
we've already seen end of season 1.
If they were gonna do a reboot,
so no comment.
Did he freeze?
Oh, we're losing him.
Aliens got him. Dang it.
Oh, he's just fell into space. Maybe we'll see if he pops back. I'll drop him out for now, and then we'll see.
You know that episode of Stargate
where Aliens, if you fancy me.
Oh, okay. There's that episode of Stargate, where they open the gate and there's this team on the other side when there's they're circling a black hole and there's that time dilation. He got stuck in the time dilation. He's really living in real time, but we only see 1 frame per year or whatever.
Yeah. I was going to say also, at the end of the first series, we saw the episode where Daniel went into a mirror universe. So we know there are multiple dimensions and there is a multiverse within the Stargate universe. I just find it a bit lazy. I don't want them to do what they did with Star Trek, and say, like, okay, we're going to change all this stuff. He's back with us.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Got dodgy internet, that's all.
He escaped the black hole. Welcome back.
Welcome back, sir. But, they did that with Star Trek, and they went into a multiverse thing, and they went, oh, it's okay, we've changed time, so anything that we now do that messes with canon, we're not really messing with canon, so don't worry about it. That tried as a Trekkie, that drove me up the freaking wall.
Well, have you seen the latest episode of Discovery?
I'm not watching it.
Oh my God.
I'm digging my heels in.
So pissed off.
They took it off Amazon, and then they put it on this channel called Pluto over here in the UK, but it's only at certain times. So it's like an old-fashioned like TV channel.
Right.
So unless I'm watching it at 9 o'clock on a Monday night or something, I can't watch it. And I'm like, I'm not watching TV at your schedule. So it's like I want to binge watch it, you bastard. So
yeah. Right. It's a not on demand video.
It's not on demand, no. So I'm digging my heels in and being really petty about it.
Upset about the mirror universe, you're going to be so mad.
I've heard. I actually went to watch it yesterday. I sat down to watch it, and I actually put a little comment on the community page going, I'm going to watch it. And I got a bunch of people going, don't bother.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments there. That was funny. And everybody was right, because the comments were like, once you turn on the show, it's like, oh, remember that thing? Well, forget about it.
That thing.
And like, for example, in Star Trek, all the things about the Borg and the shields, the Borg, whenever, for example, you would shoot them with a laser, you'd shoot them once, it would hit them, and then they would absorb any laser attack you would have from them.
Yeah.
But in the movie First Contact, in the beginning, all those starships are attacking the Borg ship, and it explodes. That Borg ship didn't have that absorbing power that it had in the show. And that's kind of like what Discovery is like, but like 10 times worse, It's almost like every other line is supposed to get a Star Trek fan mad, almost. It's like, they want to get you mad. It's almost like, and it's not only me, because I thought, oh, maybe this is only me. Maybe this show is just not for me, but I actually saw this with other fans, and they were like, I can't even watch it. I have to turn it off because, and these are like lifelong Star Trek convention people who've gone to conventions and stuff. And
yeah, I consider myself a Trekkie. I love Star
yeah,
Trek, but I stopped watching Discovery halfway through the second series, because I got bored. I did go back to it because the third series was quite good. I quite enjoyed it. But then I thought, well, I'm going to have to watch the second series now because I don't really know what's going on. So I did go back. But then by the end of the third series, I was just like, I'm bored again. This is one thing. It's not that it's, somebody said to me, goes, well, what's the difference between good Trek and bad Trek? No such thing, because it's just Trek. And I'm like, no, there's good Trek and there's bad Trek. You can go through the movies, can't you? Okay, great, terrible, great, great. They take it in turns being great movie, terrible movie. Unfortunately, there is bad, and I don't like this current generation. Picard started brilliantly. By the end of it, it was a complete shit show. Bad CGI.
I couldn't even finish it.
Just watch the just watch the very last episode, just like the end of it. It's just bad. The ships were horrible, and it's just like, you're saying about how they almost like wrote it to annoy Trekkies. That's how I feel about the last episode of Picard. It's like they did it to annoy us. They say, let's do some ugly, badly designed ships because Trekkies don't care about that sort of thing. And I'm just going, look at the state of that freaking ship. And it's like, because Trekkies do care about things like that. We really like the ships and stuff, and we're geeks. That's what we like. And then the bad guy was this hole opened up and some tentacles came out. And I was just like, oh fuck, no. It's just terrible.
You know which one I recommend is The Expanse.
I was going to say,
yes, The Expanse.
Excellent series. We were saying about how Amazon are just about the money. The only real evidence we've got to give us an idea what they might do with Stargate, I think, is The Expanse. The Expanse got cancelled on CBS, I think. Amazon bought it, and I would say they've done a lovely job with it. They've just given them the money and let the creators create. They've given them a decent budget and just gone crack on with it. If they do the same with Stargate, I'm happy.
Well, if we want to take that analogy further to like some of the fantasy they're doing, I was a big fan of Wheel of Time from Robert Jordan. And after he died, he did like 11 books on the series. Then he died of cancer. Then Brandon Sanderson of the Mistborn series came in and finished the next 3 books, which finished the series. So all the fans again had to, oh my God, or is Amazon going to fuck it up? Is it going to be horrible? Is it going to be whatever? And it did need more budget, but they did a very good job of telling the story, bringing it to film. And that is, if you've ever read any of the Wheel of Time series, that would be a heavy lift to get it to an episodic TV show, because it's packed with it's packed with detail like a Stephen King novel is. And so they did a good job with that. And so now all the Tolkien crowd is taking a little bit of sigh of relief. So, okay, maybe the Amazon show on Tolkien won't be bad, and it'd probably be good, because God knows they're spending, what is it?
$1
billion on it or something. I mean, it's an insane amount of money over the series. And so, maybe the production side, the studio side of Amazon, especially with, they've shown what they can do with picking up the Expanse and doing a very good job.
And I think Amazon as well have shown that in the past, particularly, they're not as bothered about spending money in the short term because they know they'll get it in the long term. It's a bit of an example of like how they sold the Fire Sticks when they was first getting Amazon TV and Prime going. Yeah. They sold the Fire Sticks for cost. They didn't make any money on actually selling the Fire Sticks because they knew once they sold them, they'll make the money in the back end. And when those the first tablets, when they first came out with the Kindle that you read on the Fire things, they did them. They sold them as cost. They were the cheapest tablet you could buy.
Yeah, I mean,
because they knew they'd make the money on the back end.
Yeah,
They're not afraid of spending money.
I got the top end of Fire 7, this little 7-inch tablet, and it was like $65. And when it was color, ran apps, had mail, I can watch Amazon TV on it, or the Amazon Prime, excuse me, and read all the and so they made the money back on selling all the books.
They're not stupid. They're not stupid. And I'm not necessarily worried about making that. The one thing with Stargate I'm worried. I do want to go back to Star Trek in a second, but the one thing I am worried about Stargate is that what I'm being told anyway is that they want to do this big thing where it'll be the TV shows, the movies, and the game, and other things, and these will all be influence each other and go into each other. But the game is called Timekeepers that's coming out, and we're going to see that first. It should be out sometime in the summer. Keeps getting put back there. But that apparently is about an SGT team that is bouncing through time. And I'm like, well, if that's the introduction to what Amazon are planning to do, then it's all going to be timey-wimey crap. And that's how they're going to get around canon. They'll just say, well, we changed time. Sorry, oops. Sort of thing. Oopsie. I'm not overly excited about that. But then again, if they do it right, then
they need Russell T. Davies.
There you go.
Bring on the Russ.
It's
so that's what we want to talk about Flux, Doctor Who Flux. Do we want to even go down that rabbit hole, or are we?
I tried to watch it, but I tried to watch the Jodie Whittaker, the first season, and I couldn't even get through it.
I watched it. I did watch it all. I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess, with Doctor Who. But
yeah. The problem is, though, I don't think that's Jodie Whittaker's fault, because I think Jodie Whittaker's a brilliant actress, and I think she's.
I think it's a writing fault.
It's the writer's fault. Yeah. Doctor Who hasn't been very good for about 6 years.
Yeah.
You could tell in the UK, Doctor Who used to have the Christmas Day 6 o'clock episodes. The special was on every Christmas Day, 6 o'clock. It was the big thing. BBC advertised it like crazy running up to Christmas. They haven't done that for about 5 years now. I think it's maybe 6 years now. It's been relegated to New Year's Day. It's the New Year's Day Doctor Who special. I think that's a big sign that they knew it. The viewers have dipped, and that it's just not as good as it was. But the old showrunner's come back, hasn't he? So maybe it'll perk up. But
and they had so many great female characters. Rose was such a great character. And the girl from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There was also a colored girl who was in the time of Rose, and she had married one of the Doctor's companions. They had become they were both dark British people.
Yes, I do know who you mean, but I can't remember her name.
Yeah, and she was a good companion too. I liked her, but. And everybody forgets that other girl from series 4 who worked in an office. She was only in it in one David Tennant season, but she was like a woman who worked in an office.
She's a comedian over here. Oh God, Tate. Something Tate.
Catherine Tate.
But yeah, she's actually quite a famous actress over here. She's a comedian.
She was great.
She only did the one series. She was great, wasn't she? But yeah, I say I've never been a big Doctor. I'm not a Whovian, I'm afraid. I like Doctor Who. I watched the Matt Smith and David Tennant ones. They were great. But as soon as Matt Smith went, I just stopped watching it.
Yeah, I saw the Peter Capaldi stuff, and it wasn't as good as Matt Smith. And for me, it wasn't as good as David Tennant and Matt Smith.
I felt like they just kept changing things for the sake of it. And that's kind of annoyed me. The Peter Capaldi got better in the second series, apparently, but at first he was like an angry Doctor. And it was, or didn't he lose his memory or something? I forget. I did watch it a little bit, but it was just
the Capaldi series. I mean, I'm just wondering if it was writing too, because it was. I thought the stories were just. There was one. There was one. And it starred the actress that played Arya Stark.
Oh yes.
God, I can't remember it was with Capaldi, and that was a good story. It was shockingly good. but then it was just the rest of it was just, you know, I'm beginning to think that, you know, the combination of I don't know, the Cybermen and the Daleks have just played out.
Need something new.
You had mentioned there, the problems of writing, and I remember with the Capaldi season, I think that guy called Moff was
the
guy who took over after Russell T. Davies. What did you say, Moff?
Moff Tarkin.
Moffat.
Star Wars reference. Ignore me.
Oh, Moff Tarkin.
Yeah. His name's Moffat. Steve Moffat.
Steve Moffat. And what he would do if you notice, he'd do this a lot in episodes. He would make the problem, and then 10 minutes before the episode ended, the doctor would magically fix everything. Like it would just, something would happen at the end and everything would get fixed. That I remember reading online, that's what everybody's complaints about the Capaldi stuff was.
Yeah.
But
I think Stephen Moffat was the only thing I'd say. I liked it when Stephen Moffat was in charge, but he was a comedy writer originally. That's what he did. He was famous over here for he did a series called Coupling, which is like British Friends, and it was brilliant. It was very, very funny. But that's what Stephen Moffat was kind of known for. And then he was a big fish in a small pond, and he tried to go over to America and do stuff, and then he was like a little fish in a massive pond sort of thing, and didn't do so, so he came back. But I like that, but because he brought the humor in. I think they tried to inject humor into this Peter Capaldi. That just didn't work. Like the one thing he's like, he rides into the bad guys, and there's a fight or something going on, and he rides in on a tank with an electric guitar, just like, wow. I'm saying, I think this is supposed to be funny, but it's just stupid. You know,
do you want to hear a really cold comment about the whole Capaldi doctor?
Yeah.
Do you really want to hear this? Okay, so the memes that came out of Capaldi as Doctor Who were funnier than Doctor Who with Capaldi. Were funnier than the episodes. The memes were better.
Yeah, that is sad, isn't it? That's true,
and you know, and you're going to get all the hate mail. No one's going to send hate mail to me. They're going to send hate mail to you. But I think the memes that I saw on Facebook about Capaldi's doctor was better than Capaldi's doctor.
Yeah, it's all about opinion. Don't send me hate mail. I just delete it.
Send it all to him.
It's all opinion. We're allowed to hate.
And you know, acting wise, I don't think Peter Capaldi really was a good co-star, like in terms of entertaining you and bouncing off stuff. He wasn't really a good co-star for the girl who was playing Impossible Girl, and she was a really good character. But those two characters, it was almost like, why is she with? I couldn't really see her following the Peter Capaldi doctor, but I could see her following the Matt Smith doctor.
Yes, I can follow that. Yeah. It's
not because he was older.
The relationship there, was there?
The relationship, the way they wrote it, you know.
There was always kind of like a little bit of a will they, won't they sort of thing going on, weren't they, with the previous ones, with River, and then and maybe obviously now he's an old granddad. Maybe that's not there anymore. But that's crazy because when Peter Capaldi was named, I was like, get in. Because again, Peter Capaldi was in a show over here in the UK, and he was very popular, and he played a very aggressive, swearing politician's aide thing, and he was brilliant in it. And I was just like, yes, that's a fantastic idea. Let's go. And then actually, when it was on, it was like, oh no, this was a terrible idea. What were they thinking? It's all gone wrong. But yeah, let's see what they do with it. But I think it'll disappear from our TV screens again, I think, shortly.
But if you guys want to see some really good sci-fi, on Netflix, there's a show called Love, Sex, and Robots. Did you see that?
I've seen it. I've never watched it.
Oh, it's a bunch of shorts. It's different, like shorts.
Oh, it's a short anthology.
Oh, it's a short one, like Black Windows. Ah, okay. I have read that it's really good, but I've never got around to watching it.
It'll blow you away.
Oh, cool. I have to give it a go. I read a couple of things about one or two of the episodes. Actually, a lot of people got very angry about one or two of the episodes. And
oh, really?
Yeah. But you know, that's
No, but you know,
Lot of fun in
it. They all make you think.
Yeah, I think that's what got people angry. Some people don't like thinking. They don't like being poked into thinking. They like to just eat popcorn and order things off Amazon and not think too much.
And just don't look up.
Yeah, don't look up.
Yeah.
But I think that's true. I think people, when they get provoked into thinking, they just get confused and then annoyed. But yeah, no, I will take your on that one. I will try to watch it when I get a chance. I was going to ask you though, talking about what's coming in 2022. To get back to Star Trek a little bit briefly. Strange New Worlds. Give a crap about that in the slightest?
I'd love to see it.
Really? I'm really not interested. How about you, Aliens in Space? What do you think?
That's the new Star Trek animated show.
No,
right?
I think that's Prodigy.
That's Prodigy.
This is the one that's got Captain Pike on the old Enterprise, on the Enterprise A.
Oh, but they haven't released the trailer for this one, right?
We've seen a couple of little things, but not a great deal. They have finished production. They have finished filming. And they did some refilming, so that'll be out. It should be out in April, I think. So we've seen a bit of promo stuff, but not a proper. I don't think we've seen a proper advert. We've seen a few like interviewy things with little snippets.
You know, if it's made by these new people, I'm really not interested because I'm such a and I've liked all the years of Star Trek, but these new Star Treks, yes, they have great special effects, but the dialogue and the characters are really tone deaf, And I mean, for me, watching it, because I watched a show like Caprica, or Battlestar Galactica, and I loved Caprica. I loved Caprica. I'm not all about the action, and there's shows that had great characters, great writing, and diverse and stuff like that. But these Star Trek shows, the way the dialogue comes out is kind of weird, it's really weird, and they're supposed to be like kind of military. It's so far off from Voyager, Deep Space Nine. And I like the Abrams movies, but those are my thoughts,
Right, okay. We'll talk about the Abrams movies then, because those films make me quite angry. So.
Oh yeah.
As films, I think they're great. As an actual film, this is a future episode. I've got a future video is called "Why the J.J. Abrams movies suck." It's going to be the title, or why they're stupid and make me angry. It comes down to, as a Trekkie, I'm a bit geeky on the technical stuff. I've actually read, the NCC 170D technical manual, and I like all this geeky stuff. So why on earth did J.J. Abrams do the long-range transporters, which make transporters irrelevant? They could have just transported those torpedoes to chase Khan when they knew where he was. They didn't need to send the Enterprise because they've got long-range transporters, apparently.
Stop making sense. Continue.
The warp drive of the Enterprise made no sense. The warp core. It seemed to be hydroelectric from as far as I could tell. From the science of it, it's just like, why did they mess around with it so much? Why did the Enterprise look completely different every episode, and why was it like 10 times bigger than any other starship that had come before it? I don't know. As a film, as not a Star Trek film, I really enjoyed them. I thought they were really good action movies, quite funny. As a Star Trek film, they drive me up the wall because they're not Star Trek, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think the most realistic use of spaceships, like in a show or in a movie, has been The Expanse lately.
Hands down, totally agreed. Yeah.
I agree with you totally. Yeah.
I can't think of, but I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast with an astronaut. He was saying when he comes back down, he's got to be in bed for like 6 months because the human body isn't meant for space.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they say that if we're going to be traveling in light speed and stuff in the future, it might not be people in human bodies. It might be some sort of hybrid. They make like some sort of cyborg type clone, and that's
genetically
what's
modifies more for space, sort of thing. That makes sense.
You know, the space station up above us is spinning really quick, faster than a speeding bullet. You know.
Okay. That's the
And
International Space Station.
I mean, the International Space Station is orbiting the planet, but it is not the vessel itself is not.
I think you think about Elon Musk is planning on building one of his starships is need to have a tubular thing that'll spin really fast to create centrifugal force, will create gravity. But it works
the the movement of the space station above us, that space station, it looks like it's still, but it's actually spinning super quick, like a top.
I gotta say no on that. It physically is not.
No.
The structural integrity. If it did that, structural integrity of ISS would fling the solar panels off.
It is moving really fast, but I don't think it spins.
It does not spin.
Now they're traveling about 27,000 miles an hour or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
but it is not turning. It is.
It's not turning.
Just to move back to The Expanse. The one episode of The Expanse I absolutely loved was, do you know the episode? I think it was early in the second series. They had the episode where the engine that they use, and there's the guy on the rocket, and he accidentally gets it, and he just gets thrown back, and the rocket just goes shooting off, sort of thing. And he can't get back because the fuel runs out. It's just a standalone episode. That character never appears in it. It's a bit odd at the time. You're watching it at the time thinking, what the bloody hell is going on? But it's how the engines were accidentally designed. So I think I loved that episode. And most sci-fi episodes wouldn't do that. They wouldn't throw in a completely random episode right in the middle of a thing. I'm sure it was the second series, but I'm not sure. A brilliant little episode.
Yeah.
Made didn't really add a great deal to the story. But it really just added like depth to the universe, sort of thing. I think the Expanse is massively underrated.
It is
as a TV series, as a franchise. Really, the first series in particular was excellent.
And if you guys really like sci-fi, also on Netflix, there's another anthology. And it's made, Love, Sex, and Robots is made by Darren Aronofsky's team. Like Darren Aronofsky and the guy who directed Deadpool 1 got together, and they got filmmakers they knew, and each short is like a movie pitch. But there's another one by Neil Blomkamp, the guy who made District 9, and he made his own. Yeah. It's called Oat Studios. I don't know if you heard it.
That's actually, I've seen bits of that. That was good, actually. I did like that. And District 9 is one of my favorite sci-fi movies of sort of that era. I love it when a film surprises you every so often. That they just go, right, that's what people are making, but I'm going to make something completely different. And you always know when a film's good when people copy it. And it's been copied a few times since, sort of thing, or the idea or the style has been copied a few times since. So it's that's an excellent movie. And like I say, you're surprised from beginning to end. You've no idea where that film's going. And then talk about sci-fi should have layers to it. There are so many different ways of looking at that film and maybe trying to see what they're trying to tell us. Obviously there's things about racism and economic poverty and all this sort of thing. There's so many different layers to it. I love that film. It's absolutely excellent. So when did we decide on Strange New Worlds for Star Trek then? Are we excited about that?
I'm excited. I'm excited.
You actually want to watch it, but why do you want to watch it, Stormy? Why?
I'll watch anything. I'll watch anything Star Trek. I mean, it is always an opportunity.
Me too.
It's always an opportunity for them to get back on track. I do I love Christopher Pike as a character. I think the actor does a very good job of portraying him. It is, and I'm really curious where he takes that character. You know, and now whether the writers and the studio can pull it off, who knows? But yeah, I'm kind of it's I'm just really curious about it.
I suppose I'm more curious than I'm excited, but I just think it's another opportunity to mess up canon.
It is a total new opportunity to screw it up.
That does my head in. I don't want to see another prequel. I want to see Star Trek: The Next Generation 20 years on. I want to see, you know, I think that's why I was quite excited when Discovery went into the future. And I was like, oh, we'll see something in the future. That'll be good. And then there was the burn. Oh, no, they've ruined it immediately. You know, it's like...
Enterprise was also really good. That show, Enterprise.
Yeah, I loved Enterprise. It's a great show.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 episodes, Broken Bow, last night.
Oh, Broken Bow. Yeah, that's a great...
One of the things I love about that show is that they really spent some money on the particularly Broken Bow and the first couple of episodes. Yeah. But the relationship between the humans and the Vulcans, I just love that. I thought it was so clever.
It needed like 3 more seasons.
I wanted to see. I got for Christmas a model of the Enterprise, but it comes with the you know, the extension they were planning, so the refit. So that made it look a bit more like a Constitution. So it actually had like a drive section. So I'm just trying to decide, do I build it original or do I build it with the drive section? It's like, oh, decisions. I might have to put a poll up on just to ask people what they think. But I think I'm going to build it with the drive section because it just looks stunning for the drive section. As soon as I get 5 seconds. I've got a model. I haven't built it yet. I got it for Christmas. I haven't even looked at it yet, mate. To be honest, I'm so busy. I'm really. So I've decided to. I am going to do this like fan fiction of Stargate, and I've actually can tell you that what won. So because I did a poll saying what sort of storylines you want me to do, and a new SG team got 39% and an ancient storyline got 37%. So I've decided I'll do both. So I'm going to merge the two. And I've actually had a really interesting idea of another subscriber how to do it. So that's how I'm going to do that. So I'll talk about that in a bit. But I suddenly realised I'm really busy. How the hell am I going to do this? I've had this great idea. I'm going to do this. And then the wife was like, when? I'm like, I don't know. I'll start getting up early or something. I don't know. But I'll have to make it work. She also pointed out that I can't write or spell. So I'm just like, we'll figure that out.
You got that family support, though.
Yeah. No, she was supportively telling me I can't spell. And I was like, that's what the computer's for. The computer tells me when I spell something wrong. It puts a red line under it. So, but also my grammar isn't amazing. My sons mock me repeatedly because every so often they go, what's a semicolon for, Dad? And I'm like, you know I don't know. So why are you asking me? But I'll figure it out. We'll get there. But so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a new SG team, and there'll be an ancient storyline intertwined with it. And there you go. I'm announcing it. That's what we're doing.
All right.
I'm just going to pass it to you, Stormy. You can do
it. Since we were talking about Star Trek, there is a game on the PlayStation VR, and I think it's on the Oculus of Star Trek. And you command the bridge, or you could be any spot in the bridge. You know, the captain, the lieutenant, Worf, and you could be Next Gen or Original Trilogy. And you can actually go and fight the Klingons, the Borg, and everything. If you're a Star Trek fan, I'm gonna tell you, you have to play the VR.
They had a Bridge Commander years ago. Dude, you have all the best toys, man.
He does.
I'm really jealous. And they had Bridge Commander years ago, didn't they, on the one of the PlayStation 2s or something? No, it was on the PC. That was really cool, but it was never big enough. The game wasn't, so the technology wasn't there. But nowadays, I'm thinking, that's what I want. I just keep seeing the Star Trek game on the phone. And I actually thought that's going to be rubbish. But it kept getting advertised, keep getting advertised. Brent Spiner does the advert for it now. So I'm like, oh, I've got to go. And I actually went on it. I goes, this is awful. It's just that stupid thing where you have to like press ding, 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 ding. It doesn't actually do anything. It goes, oh, if you want to do something cool, give me money. I'm like, oh, you said you were free.
I played that. It was bad. It was.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing.
I saw a new ad is like, download now and get the free Michael Burnham upgrade. Whatever the hell that is.
The adverts are much, much, much better than the game. The Brent Spiner, Will Riker adverts are hilarious. They're very, very good, but the game is terrible.
Remember that there was another game that was like that. You had to buy your way to victory. It was had Arnold Schwarzenegger as the one of the. He was always in the ads. It was like
war
something,
reign of something or something. I don't know. And it had the remote control and his head on a remote control car. Come with me if you want to leave. That thing.
It was like on your phone, and it was really hot and heavy in 2017, I think it was 2016, 2017, and it was a miserable playing experience. They made buckets of money, but it's just a miserable playing experience.
They've made loads of money in all these games, haven't they? Because they suddenly realised that actually people will pay like 30 pence 1,000 times, but they won't want to pay £30.
Yeah.
They don't like paying it all in one go. But if we get them addicted, and it's easy, so you think you're getting somewhere. And but as soon as it starts asking me for money, that's when I
just need that lollipop crate, and I can rule the sector.
That little shot of endorphins. Oh, it's only 30p, but you've done it 100 times. It's like,
let me tell you, the VR game, you could be on it the whole day. I'm telling you, it's that great. Oh, wow. It's not like the mobile phone game. I played the one you were talking about. Is really bad, really boring. But here it gets you because you're playing with other people on your bridge, and you get to talk to them. And I'm gonna tell you, you'll love it. You guys will.
It sounds amazing, I have to admit. Yeah. But as a man with children, my children will never let me on it. So unfortunately, I'll never actually get a go. But no, that sounds like the sort of game that VR would be amazing, and that you can actually walk up to the console and you can actually, do things. That'd be pretty cool. I want to see the ball come on.
Your game was Mobile Strike.
Mobile Strike, yeah. Oh, of course it was. It was like Risk, not like Risk. Command and Conquer. It looks a bit like Command and Conquer.
Kind of like that. One's in a sector, and you build missiles, and you get resources. You steal them from other people. You build jeeps. You build a better jeep. You increase your technology, and if you get if you want to upgrade all this and cut down your resource time or your building time for your artillery, whatever, you just $1.
Yeah. Here you go. We're going to upgrade your missiles. 3 days, or give me 30p. I'm like,
exactly. Yeah. Mobile Strike.
Or you can buy this pack for 1,000 that gives you 1,000 gold, and it's only £99. I'm like, that's a bargain. Let's do that. No, I'm saying if you are doing that, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. I got better things to do in my life than spend hours on it. Unless I've got way too much to do as it is. A full-time job, doing this, and now apparently I'm writing a book. I really don't know why I did that, but no, there isn't enough time in the day to play games.
Oh, dude, this next year is just going to be jam-packed. It's just, good Lord.
Yeah. I need a really good COVID to happen again so that we can have a lockdown. I didn't take advantage of it first time round.
See?
I'm realising. I did not take advantage. I watched lots of telly. But I could have done so much. Oh.
I was going to tell you guys that if Stargate gets rebooted again, I hope that they do something with like what's happening today with like the Tic Tac UFOs and all the I hope, because Brad Wright was saying that if he made a new Star Trek series, it would be a Stargate series, it would be about how Stargate would affected the world. Like the world knows about Stargate.
Secrets out, yeah.
And so would that affect technology? Would they be seeing more UFOs? They could do so many visual stories, so that relate to today.
the thing I like about that is that you could tell. I like a conspiracy theory. I did used to have another channel, or I still got another channel that I talk about mysteries and things like this. And I love that. But you watch Stargate, and you're just like, whoever wrote this loves a conspiracy theory as well, because they're all in it. They all intertwined through the series. You know, there's like reptilians and everything was in it. All the old ancient astronaut theories, they're all in Stargate.
Yeah,
that's why I'm interested to see where they go.
I loved it all.
Yeah, exactly. It's all intertwined in there. So yeah, things like the Tic Tac and things, they would have to do something like that, wouldn't they? They'd have to do like it's some sort of experimental new thing, and they accidentally got caught on camera or something. They'd have to have. You could see them having a joke about that guy. That's the sort of thing they would. You could see Richard Dean Anderson making a little sarcastic comment about you got caught, sort of thing.
Jamie,
I'd love to see that.
Was discussing like a new path of how Stargate could go, or did I read it some places like the next series should be the disclosure going along with all of this? You know, what if the next Stargate series disclosed, well, okay, humanity, we got this thing in the ground. It's kind of interesting. We've spent a shit ton of money on it. And was it you and I discussing in a previous video or something about what if that was the new gist of the gateway of Gate World, and so to speak, was just disclosure?
I don't remember. I don't think it was us, but it could have been.
Could have been.
I do think that's interesting, but my worry about that is a big thing about Stargate is that it could be happening. So it was like, you know, that the whole Stargate program could be happening right now, and we don't know. So it could be real, sort of thing. If it's spaced sort of 15 years or nearly 20 years now after SG-1 ended, we've got all these starships. You know, we've got all this technology. We've got the Ancients technology. Bloody Atlantis is sat in the middle of San Francisco Bay at the end of Stargate Atlantis, and no one noticed. We've got the Asgard technology. We've got the Asgard core. You know, it's like, so our technology is going to be quantum leaping. Is Stargate just going to become Star Trek? Is it Stargate anymore?
You know, I thought that made sense, though. The fact that, you know, they're in contact with the Thor people, the Asgard people, you know, they've been discovering these things. So, you know, their technology would affect the Earth technology. I thought that in Stargate that made sense. You know, the fact that they had gotten their ships and that they weren't only using the Stargate, you know, because they were going to all these worlds. They were bound to that technology was bound to change their world. But I see what you're saying. Like, is it going to turn into a ship show? You know, just like a show about ships and stuff. I get you.
Yeah. And it's just, I just think the technology has got to a point, especially remembering now we're going to be 20 years on again, that we've got Star Trek for that. Stargate was something different. It was a little bit different. I know even when we had the starships, they were still secret. They weren't very good compared to everybody else. You know, we couldn't go toe to toe with anybody. You know, we got our asses handed to us if we tried. You know, the first couple of ships that we had. Oh God, I forgot the name of them. The X-303 and then the Daedalus. They still had missiles. Yeah, you know that we were still using missiles.
That was a cool ship, the Daedalus.
Yeah, the Daedalus got destroyed, though, didn't it? It got its ass handed to it by a Goa'uld mothership. And but it's there firing missiles at this thing, and then it just goes boom, 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 and blows it out of the sky. You know, it's like
one thing that Stargate always had going for it is that we were struggling. We were newbies, and we knew it. You know, and it was the struggle part of it. I think the formula was the struggle, the human struggle to overcome these obstacles of shit we had no idea about. I think that was part of the story. And even going back to the original movie, it was the struggle. Like, oh my!
I think they knew that as well, because they really played up to it. If you think about the episode "The Knox" in the first series, when we go to this planet where there's supposedly this creature that can disappear, and the Goa'uld have been trying to capture one for generations, and they can never capture it. So we've got the SG team go thinking, oh, this is a technology maybe we can use. And they find this Nox people, and they think they have to protect the Nox because they seem like simple nature folk. And then it turns out, actually, they're one of the original 4 species, and they're incredibly advanced. And they don't need our protection. You know, it's the other way around, sort of thing. I think that was the whole premise of the show, really, is that we were these, you know, we were taking baby steps out into the universe, and we knew nothing. I like the Asgard when we have the replicators, and they're saying, oh, we'd have never thought of having lead projectiles being thrown out of a gun at thing. You know, your childlike thinking is what we need. And it's like, you're so stupid, it's what we need, sort of thing. But that was the whole premise of the show, really, wasn't it? That we're so stupid, and so technologically inferior, but we're still fighting, still battling on, and still succeeding. Everybody loves an underdog, don't they? You know,
they do.
I want to see some of the new characters to be related to the original characters. I always see what you mean, like Amanda Tapping's daughter or something like that. I would really like to see in the news, if they do a new Stargate series, particularly if they do an Academy, I'd love to see if they could get back some of the characters from that Foothold episode, some of the young trainees, sort of thing, maybe in some role as well. They'd be mages or something by now, I suppose. But I think that would be interesting.
I want to see the character Rush come back and just bitch slap everybody. I mean, he was just because he was just such an ornery guy. But
who was Rush?
You know, from Stargate Universe, the crazy scientist that didn't explain anything
British
to
guy.
Anybody.
Oh yeah,
The
main.
I'm just going to read this comment. So it's always been my contention that all the secrets of space travel and aliens could not be kept secret from the public, since many are in the know. And he's, I think, William's bang on there, to be honest. That it's too much. Oh, do not talk about Bob Lazar. You. We've had this discussion a few times, Amy, about Bob Lazar and aliens.
Bobby.
I think he's bang on there that if the Stargate program was true, you imagine like the battle over Antarctica, that would have been noticed. I know it's over Antarctica, but it still would have been noticed. You know, somebody would have seen that shit. Elon Musk would know. Or maybe he's an alien.
Or maybe Elon Musk built the ships in his secret foundry and wherever.
You heard what's going on in Switzerland, right?
What's going on in Switzerland? They're making a lot of chocolate.
Because you guys were talking about Elon Musk, but they're going to come out with a Neuralink. And in Switzerland, they have cyborg parties where people get implanted with their chips. And they become... it's a popular thing now.
Okay.
They're having these cyborg parties, you know, and you're able to pay for things with your thumb. You know, you have chips in your thumb, in your head.
No, that's true. It's there was about 60% of the population have already been implanted in Switzerland. They use it as their keys, everything. About 60%. It was really pushed on with COVID, and nobody wanted to touch anything. And so this technology thing, but you can open your door with it. You can do everything. It's
the guy that came up with that kind of technology. He was a British researcher. He was the first guy to get chipped. He was on cover of Wired magazine. Shit, sometime in the 90s. We've been sticking in
dogs for 20 years, man. It's not.
Well, yeah.
It's not new technology.
Yeah,
he was
a British university professor that came up with that idea.
Brilliant, we do everything good in the world. Baz has joined us. I do. Baz, I've not seen you in ages, mate.
Baz and a bear.
I just love that. Yeah, I just love that everything evil in the world is British. We're really good at it, and then other countries take it and do awful things with it. But we've done everything else. Concentration camps, we invented those. You're welcome. Just everything awful. Tanks, we did that. I just think, it's like rule Britannia. You're all welcome.
You know what? At least in Britain, for women have rights. You don't see slavery in Britain.
We outlawed it, mate. We invented it and then outlawed it.
And then exported it. Thank you very much, Bob.
We let everybody else do it. And then we went, we're too good for that. And we said no, no more. And then we gave women the vote. I always told my wife, I was just like, sat there, we were talking about something about the suffragette movement. And I just went, biggest mistake this country ever made. I didn't even get the sentence out. She knew I was going to say it. She punched me really hard. I'm always trying to wind her up. She's very easy to wind up, my wife. But I'm always trying to wind her up. I didn't even get the sentence out and she hit me. Yeah. Gotta love it. No, but I think we're a country that punches above our weight. I think we're quite proud of it as well. And
I had some family that went to London. They liked it a lot.
It's a beautiful city, mate. We should, definitely come on over. And like I say, we've never lost a conflict ever. We've won every single war we've ever been involved in, ish. And
you're never getting
you Americans come over.
Saying.
You guys want to laugh, right? What's one movie? Okay, that one famous classic. This is a classic movie.
Classic movie.
Okay, a classic movie. That is not correct. That you can't really say that you like now is Zulu. Remember Zulu with Michael Caine?
Those shoots you see the whites of their eyes. Yeah. It's historically not particularly accurate either in lots of ways.
Oh, really? Oh,
no, there's quite a bit of it that's wrong. But why would that be a problem now, though, to be fair? We kind of had a mutual respect by the end of it.
Well, in the Zulus, in the actual Zulu movie with Michael Caine, they were in the actual battle. The guys that you see in the actual movie are like the sons and daughters of the people of the actual battle or something like that.
Yeah, there are involved. It was actually filmed at the place as well, at some of the ridge. Oh God, I can't remember. That's terrible. I should know my British history better than this.
But it's a great movie. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. The prequel as well, the Dawn of Zulu or something like that. That's when the worst British military defeat pretty much in history, where they all came in and they just took all our guns. We have another guest. We can invite a fourth person on if you'd like. Should we invite a fourth person on?
Bring him on.
Why not? Ahmed.
Hello.
Ahmed.
How are you? Where are you from, sir? Okay, we're going to get rid of that
guy. It was Ahmed plus one.
But
it was.
But, I was saying in terms of action.
Trying to get me kicked off YouTube, you fucking... Sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah. Jesus, that guy's right. But the Germans built large rockets in World War II. That guy's right.
V1, V2. Then the German fellow went over to America and built big rockets.
Damn.
You want to hear something really scary? That's a conspiracy theory. You know who Werner von Braun is, right?
Yeah, we know.
He wrote a book about Mars.
Yep.
I forgot the name.
He was determined to go to Mars. That's what he wanted to do. Yeah.
I did not know that Werner von Braun wrote a book about Mars.
And you know what he said in the book about Mars?
Go on then.
He said that a man called Elon will take us there.
I didn't know that. I'll have to Google that later. That's interesting. He was obsessed with Mars. He wanted to. The only reason he wanted to go to the moon was because he thought it could get us to Mars.
Yeah.
So he was obsessed with it. He was
the Mars Project.
Yeah.
A technical specification written for a human expedition to Mars. It was written by von Braun in 1948.
And in the book, he says that a man called Elon will take us there.
I'm going to Google that because that's true. That's awesome, to be honest. Because
weird.
How did you know that? It's such a crazy name.
Yeah.
It's sometimes some of these things. I mean, they get memes on Facebook, and people start thinking they're true. Then when you look into it, it turns out not to be true. But hey, if it's true, I will tip my hat to you. That is a wicked one. I love it. And he will.
I have to read the book though. I haven't read the book.
I like how Elon Musk come out and went, when we go to Mars, I'm basically going to be able to create all the laws myself. And people went crazy. Like, what? And they were like, well, it's true. You can just start again. So all these massive, thick law books that we've got, we can just throw them out and we can actually have something sensible.
Well, there was a Elon Musk did a kind of a lengthy podcast with Lex Friedman, I think, last week, and he brought that up, and he says, "I'm not making the laws. That's up to the Martians."
Yeah. Well, he's even said he's not going, hasn't he? More than once. So that he won't be there. So anyway, we should start talking about sci-fi. Really, I can't even remember what we were talking about last. We were talking about Stargate again, weren't we?
But see, that's the thing about sci-fi. It's relating so much. You know, sci-fi is a mixture of reality. But yeah.
The best sci-fi is, though, isn't it? So we see things like hyposprays are reality now. I actually think sci-fi, though, has got a lot to answer for, because I think people, the general public, think a lot more should be possible than is. So I think people, they don't understand why why don't we just go to moon? And we're just like, because it's technologically really hard. He goes, yeah, but surely we can do that, can't we? And it's just like, well, yeah, but it's really hard. Something. And I think people just assume things should be, oh God, we've got another person here. I'm not. Sam and something. Okay, if this turns out to be porn again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Maybe Sam Gamgee.
Sam something. I didn't catch it quickly enough. But Sam, if you want to come back on, and you're not going to turn into porn.
Remember, Sam, keep your dick to yourself.
Please, if you wouldn't mind. I actually put a thing up saying, please don't swear. That was much worse.
Dude, I mean, swear. I'm sorry.
I've sworn a couple of times as well, mate. I was the first one to do it, so I won't worry about it too much. But yeah, I was just the best sci-fi, though, does then like bleed into reality. It's supposed to be science fiction, you know. So it should be grounded in some sort of reality.
Okay, so you want to talk about the Elon thing a little bit more?
Go on then. You've read about it, haven't you?
Quoting from the book, Chapter 24, How Mars is Governed, states, the Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled the Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted the laws to be administered by Elon and his cabinet, or by the Elon and his cabinet. It's like a title.
Yeah, but that's still pretty terrifying.
I know! Oh my God. This was written in 1904. Okay, the author is Werner von Braun, illustrator Chelsea Bonstable. It gives the publication date of 2006.
I am sorry I doubted you, sir. Just because that was so incredible, it sounded like BS. But it's true.
Then there's
sometimes, you know, it's one of those things like fiction, you know, reality stranger than fiction sometimes. How mental is that? Werner von Braun's time traveler.
Weird.
Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so it's credited to the author is credited to Werner von Braun, Project Mars: A Technical Tale. This book, it's a different book than the other, but it's a 2006 science fiction novel by German-American rocket physicist Werner von Braun, 1912 to 1977, credited as Dr. Werner von Braun. It is written by von Braun in German in 1949 and entitled Mars Project.
That's crazy.
But then it's based on the other another book that von Braun wrote in 1953 called The Mars Project.
Iron
my
Sky.
God, not Iron Sky.
That's a great movie.
So there's something to this, but I think it requires more deeper scholarship. But
yeah, we'll have to get into that. I need to know.
That's a whole show, dude. That's a whole show.
That's true. Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Okay, so it was So von Braun wrote this science fiction novel in 1948, but it wasn't published until 2006. It included technical papers on his proposed project and paintings by Chelsea Bonstable published in Canada. So deeper scholarship. But yeah, I think that's crazy. It's
just mental. I just say it's just like what a wonderful world we live in, and that is the case. I love it. It's fantastic. Iron Sky was one of those films that I watched, and it's so bad, it's brilliant. And I just love when films come along like that every so often. It's like a proper classic B movie, you know, that we used to get in the 50s.
Yeah,
you know, like Them and It and all those films. It's just wonderful. And it just sort of like, it just halfway through, it just goes, well, not even halfway through, from the very beginning of the film, we just went, we're doing what the hell we like in this film. and we're just going to go crazy, and it's just glorious. It's just one of those, and they've made about 5 of them now, haven't they? There's a few. I've never seen all the others, to be honest. I've never seen the sequels, but the original, classic, brilliant film. So what?
I saw the original. It was good. I liked it.
We have somebody else called Sam is going to join us. We'll let him join and see what they think. God, I'm ready with the turn off button just in case though. Sam the man. How are you, sir?
Sam.
Allah.
No, it's doing it again.
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Okay, from now on, I'm not letting anyone else join.
Sir.
I'm having a good time. No one else is joining. I think I've realised why this was why no one else does this, Stormy. Inviting other people that you don't know on.
But you know, I'm actually subbed to a couple of other YouTubers, and for some reason, yesterday they were using StreamYard too. It must be like a new thing or something.
It's been out a couple of years, but it's free.
Yeah.
So you can do it without him. It's quite hard to get on live YouTube. The actual live thing that you can use through YouTube isn't very good. And you can't bring other people on like this, but you can with StreamYard. But you can do it free this way. You just have to have the little logo in the top corner. So, but yeah, it works. I think it's why it's probably people are picking on it, and it's getting views more popular. Something. If you pay for it, you can have the StreamYard thing took off, but can't be bothered. So it works perfectly well then. So with that, cool. So what? 2022 is coming on us then. So we're in the last half hour or so of the chat before I go to bed. So it's 12:30 here, and I'm old, so that's really late for me. A couple of projects are coming up in the next 12 months. So I've written myself a list. We've already mentioned the Lord of the Rings. 2 minds about that. They're spending a crap load of money on it, so let's see what happens. But we've got there's the House of the Dragon prequel, the Lord and Game of Thrones prequel coming.
Yes.
I want to watch that.
I think that'll be good. I'm quite looking forward to that. One of the things I've just done a video on Firefly, right, and them remaking Firefly because now Disney own Firefly. And one of the comments I made was Disney are brilliant at squeezing every last drop of blood out of every product they own. They will squeeze that stone, Starfleet Academy, good t-shirts. They will squeeze that until they get everything out of it, right? For example, Star Wars projects this year. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I'm actually quite looking forward to. I think that'd be quite cool. Rangers of the New Republic, Lando, and Ashoka are all new TV series coming out this year. That's 4 and 5, sorry, because Thingy just came out. The Book of Boba Fett.
They're one episode in, I think.
5 new TV series within a 12-month period. They're going to squeeze until they get every last drop of blood out of the Star Wars franchise.
But you know you know what happened over at Disney was their investors started getting mad, the Star Wars investors, because all the Star Wars merchandise started going down after Last Jedi. Like Last Jedi did really good in the box office, but people weren't buying the Star Wars merch. So they had to change things.
Do people still buy merch? Oh, really? And there's a lot of stuff. It's on everything, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah.
I went to a show that we have at Christmas in the UK. These shops, but I don't know if it's the same in the US. But these shops pop up that just sell lots of toys, basically, and they sell lots of hologram lights and light up speakers and all sorts of things. It's called Mankind, the one that we've got over here at the moment. And that's, to be fair, Star Wars is on almost everything. You can sell by some. It's Marvel and Star Wars is on everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think, I think it was Solo for me that really.
Solo, really?
It's like a kick in the ball, Solo. For me, it was like the entire franchise literally ran up and kicked me squarely in the balls all the way through. I
like Solo.
God, you've got to be. Oh man, how do I take him off?
Okay, okay. So my comments about Solo, it really should have been titled Chewbacca. I think we can all agree on that because it was more. I think it had more to do I mean, I was more jazzed about Chewbacca's story, frankly, than Han Solo's. I mean,
I just think they cocked it up from the beginning there, because the guy they got playing Solo wasn't very good. The chick from Game of Thrones should never have been in it. We've got somebody else appearing, and I'm not. Ocean Man. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, Ocean Man, if you're still watching. I don't trust you now. I don't want to see any more Willies. And as it is, I might have a YouTube channel in the morning. But Ocean Man, if you want to put a couple of comments up and say hello, and then I might join, let you join. What was I saying? I think I've got just a second. Sorry, I'll be with you. I've got a private chat.
Well, while you got this private chat going on, I'll mention some more.
This has been a private chat up there, and I don't blame you.
The way the Disney Corporation is going with all these new shows for 2022 for the Star Wars properties, I think if they keep going, they're going to be down to, like, having shows like Chewbacca's Barber, or R2-D2's, maintenance supervisors, adventures in the shop or whatever. It's just, what the hell will be left?
Exactly, yeah. We'll know the whole universe anyway. This is a really interesting point, I think, here that Williams made. What do you think would happen if the James Webb Telescope actually found evidence of alien life, which is really possible? This James Webb Telescope is capable of some really incredible stuff. We're going to be able to see into the atmospheres of other planets.
Yes.
What do you think would happen to sci-fi if all of a sudden it became sci-fact?
I think there's things that they haven't released. Have you heard of the SETI signal?
Yes.
Yes, of course, yeah.
That is weird.
Oh God,
that whole thing.
I can't remember what did you write in the column? Oh my God, or something. What was it called? Oh, I forgot.
Oh, the WOW signal. That's
WOW
the
signal.
WOW signal.
He wrote the WOW.
Are you talking about the WOW signal, aliens in space? You're talking about the SETI signal that Carl Sagan broadcasted out of Puerto Rico.
Oh, right, the WOW signal. The WOW.
Oh, okay. Well, WOW.
The WOW. Yeah.
It's happened a few times since. We've had a few signals since that we can't quite explain. And there's they've got these ultra high energy signals at the moment that they can't quite explain. That we keep getting bombarded by. And then we've got that star that that they think might be a Dyson sphere. Because the luminosity of the star keeps going up and down in like a random fashion, like there's something very big moving between us and the star, but it doesn't. It's not right.
The wobble.
And nobody can explain it.
Right. Some of the signals we've been getting. I did a video on the Bochinic magnetar. They found out that these are like strong magnetic pulses. For some reason, neutron stars give out an insane large magnetic pulse. But that takes care of some of these weird signals. We don't think that the WOW signal was a magnetar spike. There was one guy here in California, Bochinic was his name, found the first one that's naturally occurring. It's the same one, and it does multiples of these in the Milky Way. So we finally found one magnetar in the Milky Way that repeats. And that, from a physics point of view, is just
weird
and insane.
I think there's so much going to be in the universe that we just don't understand. Anybody that thinks we're at a point where we know everything is just deluded.
Barely.
We don't know what we don't know, don't we?
Luis Elizondo?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yes. My other channel was called Beef Fist and Mystery. We talk about this stuff every week.
Oh, really?
So,
okay. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I'll put a link on one of those. But yeah, we talk about this stuff a lot, and Bob Lazar and aliens but I mean, I do think it's interesting though that for one, if you've got things like the Roman Catholic Church has always been really interested in telescopes, and they've got their vault that they don't let anybody in. If anybody knows if ancient alien theory is true, it's the Roman Catholic Church in the Vatican. Okay. I'd love to get in there. Never mind getting into Area 51. I want to get into the Vatican vaults.
Yeah.
I just want to read the bit that says in the front of the Bible that this is all fiction and shouldn't take it too seriously. The front page of the Bible that they took out. But I just think things like the James Webb Telescope screams to me that we're looking for something. They're spending billions of dollars on things like this. They're not doing it for no reason. They're not doing it just for science. They're doing it for the look, because they're looking for something. But the telescope on the South Pole really makes me interested. That is a very expensive project to have that South Pole telescope. It's not there for no reason, you know. But like I said, what do you think would happen to sci-fi then if this was all proved to be true?
Well, it reminds me of a line from Firefly. You know, Wash is talking about, you know, all the things that's going on in that episode, and he's like, it's just like science fiction. And his wife says, honey, you live on a spaceship.
Yep.
At some point in time, yeah, I mean, there is, I mean, you do, is there a hard line of where science fiction ends? Is it just a continuation of, you know, fiction that is based in science, where I think that's the dividing line, you know, the genre of fantasy is not based in science. Because if it is just based, you know, is it fiction based in science? Well, that shit can go on forever. However, we may be, you know, the stories may change depending on what we know.
Yeah,
you know,
well, if you think like Jules
does that
Verne.
make any sense at all?
Jules Verne was science fiction.
Yeah.
And then we went to the moon. We went under the oceans. We didn't actually go into the underground bit. We didn't do that bit. He's gone. His mom must have called him. Oh, I didn't mean. He was great. I hope he comes back. But you know, like, yeah, Jules Verne was science fiction at one point. It's now, you know, just a good book sort of thing.
But you know, it's still science fiction. Even today, even after we've gone to the moon, even after we're launching spaceships, you know, almost weekly now, still science fiction.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's so much in science fiction, even going back 20 years ago, that is now science fact, or we've surpassed. I was just thinking about the computer on Star Trek, even on the Next Generation, and we're going, oh my god, that's amazing, and we've like surpassed it now. We've actually got computers that are more powerful and much smaller. You know, the computer core on the Enterprise was enormous. It was like 6 stories.
Yeah,
and absolutely massive. Our quantum computers aren't that big that Google are building. You know, it's just like so it's like we've actually gone past that. But I think science fiction just evolves and it just changes, and it's always that whatever we know, we'll just imagine a little bit further.
Right.
I think. But that's a brilliant question. Really interesting. The other couple of things that I was just saying for 2022 that are coming out that I am actually looking forward to. Did you know they're doing a Willow TV series?
I saw that. I think it was on Disney Day. I think it was.
I know. I can't believe that. I didn't know until I started looking at this. I missed that. I can't believe they're doing a Willow TV series. I can't wait. Apparently, it's a soft reboot. It's actually an extension. It's going to be like an extension to the film. So,
you know what I'd like to see? Back in the day, George Lucas produced. It was I think it was it was a TV series that I never saw. It was on DVD for a while, and it was out of print. It was the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
I remember that series.
And I've always wanted to see it. And it was like after the show, it had like some sort of like educational lesson or something where you could buy, or it had available, or Lucasfilm was producing like educational materials for teachers about whatever the issue or topic was of the show. And I was like, God, I'd love to watch that.
I would love it. Well, we're going to get geriatric Indiana Jones in 2023, a 90-year-old Indiana Jones with his Zimmer frame.
Right.
If he goes to do any actual archaeology, he's screwed because he's not going to be able to kneel down to like pick anything up. So that's going to be an interesting TV show. The man can't run. How is that film going to work? I don't know. On about films though, Avatar's coming. Avatar 2, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is going to be the longest pigging sequel in history. I can't imagine how long this has took. I'm not interested at all. I actually look at the list of movies that are coming out next year on 2022 sci-fi movies. I'm not really interested in any of them. There's a couple of Marvel films coming out that'll be good. I'm sure they're always good. You know, Morbius is coming out, and Love and Thunder and things. But actual sci-fi films, we're a bit thin on the ground. There's Moonfall with the new Roland Emmerich movie, which tends to be quite good, and that seems to be like Hollow Moon and all sorts. So Ancient Astronaut theorists will be happy. But
yeah, I am looking forward to the new Avatar. But in terms of like, you know, the Marvel universe, I mean, I like Shang-Chi, some of the things they had out this last year, but man, it's just like I really can't get that emotionally involved. You know, now that, you know, Endgame is over, and it was literally over. It's like that arc is missing. I mean, I'll eventually see, you know, all the new offerings once they come to streaming.
But it's on Disney Plus. That's another reason I have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But I say what, it's been a crazy year thanks to COVID and things, that everything sort of got put back. We've got a lot of these TV shows and movies that we were promised a long time ago. We've still got a lot of TV shows and movies that we've been waiting on that not come yet. We would probably have Stargate on our TV series now if it wasn't for COVID, which is, you know, a huge shame. You know, it's just, I'd love to see I'm just looking forward to things to get back to normal when they can actually produce these things at a rate that's, you know, get back to some sort of normality. But honestly, this year I'm not seeing anything that's exciting. So doing the channel is going to be great because I've got nothing to talk about. So,
have you had a chance to see the Harry Potter 20th year special?
I've recorded it. I haven't had a chance to watch it. Yeah, we've got to watch it with the kids, haven't we?
Well, I understand, but there's in the credits, there's a whole panel of credits just for the COVID crew, the COVID supervisor, the medic, or whatever. I mean, it's just a whole page just for the COVID crew for the.
I'm sure.
And it's like, God, we've got, and it's just, it never occurred to me. I guess, there's got to be some sort of COVID management on set. But anyway, it was very good to watch. I really enjoyed it.
I'll probably try to watch it tomorrow. But apparently when they're on set, they've all got these sensors that go off if you get within 2 meters of the other person when they're filming a lot of these movies and things. So I don't know. All right, mate. Look, I'm going to call it a night, and because I'm so tired, and I've seen far more Willies this evening than I intended to. I hope I got them off quickly enough that nobody was too upset by that.
Right.
Why people do that, God knows why somebody's done that. It's just stupid. But and I'll message Aliens in Space later. Thank you so much for joining, mate. You were an absolute joy. So
he was
I look forward to seeing you again.
He had great toys, man.
He was brilliant. Oh man, that man! I want his toy collection. What a legend. Ocean Man, please jump on next time, and we'll have a chat. But I lost my trust there. I'm going to have to do something to try and invite people on in future, because I love talking to people that we've never spoken to. It's one of the joys about doing this. I met you through my old channel. Somebody I would have never met otherwise, except other than doing this YouTube silliness. You know, and I just love that. But you got to take a risk sometimes, and I've also met a couple of nutters. So
yeah,
I'm just going to check the private messages before we spend an evening. Ocean Man, bye man. Oh, dude, I will definitely see you next time, Ocean Man. I really appreciate it.
I do think that 2022 is going to be, it'll keep us busy. You know, I mean, I think a lot of the things that we were discussing today, you know, the Disney offers, the MCU, you know, Star Wars, et cetera, et cetera. I think there's a lot of sci-fi stuff that's coming up that we just don't know about. You know, there was one, I've been wanting to talk about this for the last 2 hours. And I watched this one show. It was a Korean sci-fi show called Silent Sea. Never heard about it, and it was on Netflix, and it was voiced over in English, and
Yeah,
I
I
had
think I
closed
watched it.
captionings. Huh?
I think I watched it.
It was about the lunar water.
Yeah, I think I watched that.
Yeah, yeah,
A while ago now.
Well, yeah, it's been on a while, but for some reason it suggested this a couple days ago for me, and so I just binge watched the whole thing. And there's lots of little gems out there that just kind of bubble to the surface. The really funny thing about that show was if you have closed captioning on, the story's kind of completely different. It's like, well, guy walks in and the voiceover says, "This place is a mess." The closed captioning is, "This room does not have very good feng shui."
literal thing of that is.
And so if you are
Japanese is
watching
funny
it,
as well.
turn on the closed captioning, like the voiceover will say shit, and then the closed captioning will say fuck. And it was like, dude, pick one. I just, you're excited. Okay, you're gonna die. Oh, we get it. Just pick this. Hysterical. So I think there's a lot of nuggets that's coming up that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah, well, that's a nice thing as well about streaming, and obviously the streaming services spent over 100 billion of content last year. There's a war going on, between the streaming services, and that's only good for us, to be honest, because it means they're desperate for to get stuff on the screens. We'll get some crap, but we'll get some gems as well.
I think we're getting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they're more willing to take a risk. I think at the moment because there is this war going on. Amazon, Netflix, and I think that they're willing to take a risk and see what works. And things like shows like Firefly that on paper make no sense. Somebody needs to take a punt on it, and obviously it didn't work with Firefly. But even shows like The Expanse, maybe, somebody needs to take a risk on that. And I think we're going to see shows that we wouldn't have seen normally because Disney, Amazon, Paramount Plus, when that hits the UK, all these streaming services they're in conflict with each other, trying to get one up on each other, and it's only good for us.
And it's not necessarily that Disney Plus or Paramount Plus is winning.
No,
I mean,
I think Disney Plus is doing pretty well, isn't it? But
doing okay.
And also, because they're in conflict, it keeps the price down as well. They're willing to, keep the prices down. So let's see how that goes. Amazon Prime is doing my head in, though. It's got so many of these channels now that are free to watch, but they've got adverts on, and then they're not streaming. But there's loads of them.
Yeah.
And there's like, well, MGM you have to pay $5.99 a month for the MGM channel, and that's where they put Stargate, which is annoying. But I've got them on DVD, so nah.
Well, there you go. Well, I years ago, right when they launched Apple TV, I went ahead and just bought all of the Stargate and all of the Star Trek I could at that time, and the complete series of X-Files and a bunch of stuff. Just
genius,
yeah. Because I had. Go ahead.
I don't buy DVDs anymore because I have DVDs of everything, and now I just got Disney Plus. But Disney buying Fox saved Disney. I had Disney Plus, and I thought this is rubbish. It's got nothing on it. The Fox stuff come through, and I'm like, actually, there's loads on there now, including X-Files. Which I love that. I've binge watched X-Files again, which is the first time in like 20 years since I've seen that. And I never watched the last couple of series. The one with T2000 in it. I've forgotten his name. When Mulder and Scully left anyway, and they had the new characters for the last couple of series.
Oh,
never watched those. Right. Never watched them, but I've watched them now.
Also had Lucy Lawless from Xena Warrior Princess was in there too. Yeah.
Yes, I'd forgotten about that actually. Yes, but I've watched those now. But anyway, it has been emotional as always, Stormy. I absolutely love talking to my resident American. Thank you so much for joining me.
Very welcome. This is always fun. We need to have like a show that's like snotty old men and just title it that, and it's just me, you, and some of the others just get on and just bullshit for every 2 hours on Sunday.
Yeah,
we need to do
just
that.
Moan.
Snotty old men.
Snotty old men.
Yeah,
my back hurts. My knees hurt.
Back hurts.
My wife is moaning at me. Anyway, it won't be riveting TV, but we'll enjoy it.
We'll enjoy it. We'll have fun.
Okay, for everyone that's jumped on and put a comment tonight, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. For the guys that put Willis on the screen, thank you so much. Don't know why you did that. What a grow up.
The astonishing thing, they did not belong to me.
No, I hope they subscribed though, so that would be good. And at least I got the viewing minutes for it. So
right.
Thanks so much, guys. And listen, everybody, stay safe. Go over and subscribe to. It looks like you're my sister channel, SciWorks. I'm SciTrek. You're SciWorks. That was not intentional when I came up with my name.
Someone has to put the work in.
But I immediately regret it. I'm immediately like, oh, crap, I've done it. I've made an error. Sci something. That sounds familiar. That's good. I'll do that.
Great. I should do that. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Please go and find Stormy on his SciWorks channel, though. It's absolutely brilliant, and you'll learn lots of interesting things. There's lots of mysteries and stuff, and you actually get educated as well. So go do that, because he's much cleverer than he looks.
Trust me.
And for an American.
I know I can fold paper.
For paper, I can.
I can.
Oh, I'm going to lose subscribers.
Strohs.
Nobody's watching after an hour and 45 minutes anyway, so we're good. All right, mate. Stay safe, everybody.
Take care,
We'll see you next time.
Thanks
so much. Good night.
Night.